So what has now happened since that government took over as regards wheat production in Nigeria?
All the wheat value chains that Adesina established, in which wheat was one of the value chains, they were no longer in existence. That was, in fact, they all collapsed.
After Akinwunmi Adesina left, all the wheat value chain collapsed in Nigeria.
Not only the wheat value chain, even all the value chains. We have wheat value chain, we have rice, we have maize, we have cassava value chain. Honestly, all collapsed. There was no funding. Nobody talked of any value chain again. But thank God that during Buhari, when Buhari came on board, honestly, Buhari launched our wheat production in Kebbi State. In Kebbi State, when Bangudu, the present Minister for Budget and Planning, was the governor of Kebbi State. Because that time I was also the one driving wheat for this country. So it was launched, and that was how they now revived the wheat production. That's how the wheat production was revived. There were interventions from Nigerian government to promote and enhance wheat production. In fact, I thought that within 5 years of that intervention, Nigeria should be able to attain at least 50 to 70% self-sufficiency in wheat production. But unfortunately, that deal was not realized because of policy somersault. We have the good materials because we have partners in CEMIT and ICADA. These are international research institutes that have the mandate for the genetic improvement of wheat globally. And we collaborate with them. We used to get germplasm materials from them, and we screen them for our own adaptability to Nigeria condition. And we have released more than 15 wheat varieties in this country.
So Nigeria has more than 15 different wheat varieties
released.
And because as your work as director of Lake Shad Research Institute.
Yes.
So 15 different varieties. Can you tell us some of these varieties and how easy is it to grow them as we speak?
Okay, sir. One, we released Attila Ganatila. We released Norman. Just about 2 years ago, we released Bullock 111. That is Bullock 111. Now, these varieties gives about 4 to 6 tons per hectare. Just 2 years ago, a woman farmer from Jigawa State got 6 tons per hectare of wheat due to this released variety from Lake Research Institute. As I said, these varieties are heat-tolerant materials that does well in our own environment. Then apart from normal, we also have rain-fed wheat varieties. You see, Nigeria is so blessed. We can grow wheat throughout the year. We have the irrigated wheat. These 2 varieties and other varieties I mentioned to you, they are irrigated wheat varieties. We also have varieties that we have released under rain-fed conditions. Now, where do you grow this wheat under rain-fed condition? We have some highlands in Nigeria. We have Gembu in Mabila Plateau, in Taraba State. We have Obudu in Cross River State. Then we also have Jos, Plateau State. These 3 highlands are what we exploit for rain-fed wheat production. Now, the question you ask, why is it that we have not been able to sustain the productivity of wheat in Nigeria? Now, one, I told you of policy somersault. Our government has never been consistent with policies. Secondly, with due apology, some of our leaders did not show enough political will to drive with self-sufficiency in this country. During SADC project, which was actually funded by AFDB, 22 countries in Africa participated in that project. Ethiopia, Sudan, and Nigeria were the three hubs for this project. Ethiopia
is wheat sustainable now?
Ethiopia is self-sufficient in wheat production.
Yeah.
They are also exporting wheat.
Ethiopia started to export wheat.
Ethiopia is exporting wheat. And we were on the same pedestal before, during SADC project. Nigeria, Sudan, and Ethiopia. Sudan has reached more than 60% self-sufficiency in wheat production. Nigeria, less than 10%. Less than 10%. Because of policy somersault, because of lack of enough political will. Political will. When national wheat farmers field day is being organized in Ethiopia, we see their president attending the field day. If the president is there, who are you as a governor that will not be there? But in our own country, I'm telling you, it was only the time of President Buhari that he came to Kebbi. Then during the time of Adesina, that he came and witnessed our national wheat farmers field day in Kadawa. But with all the interventions that we have had in Nigeria, that will have made us to be self-sufficient in wheat production, honestly, we have so many challenges.
How much wheat does Nigeria still import as we speak today? What do we lose in foreign exchange to importing wheat?
Rufai, our national wheat consumption, wheat consumption in Nigeria is about 6 million tons. 6 million tons. Our production declined about 3 years ago to 150,000 metric tons.
Out of 6 million tons that we consume?
Yes. Just recently, with these interventions from this present government, from Buhari's government and this present government, we have been able to increase our production to 430 metric tons.
430,000.
430,000 metric tons.
So if
you can see the deficit.
So that means Nigeria still imports about
we still import about
5.5 million metric tons. And how much does that cost us in forex?
$4 billion.
$4 billion.
$4 billion
every year,
annually.
And this is something we can grow within.
Now, let me just tell you the potentials of wheat production in Nigeria. We have 1.2 million hectares of land suitable for wheat production in Nigeria. 1.2 million hectares suitable for wheat production. Within the 15 wheat producing states, but Cross River has just joined now. So we have 16 wheat producing states in Nigeria. Now we have the water bodies. We have the irrigation facilities. Though that needs to be expanded. The irrigation system needs to be really revitalized. We have the personnel, the scientists. We have the improved varieties that can make us attain wheat self-sufficiency. But even the research, we need fund for research and development. Recently, that's about 2 years ago, AFDB supported Nigeria when they wanted to give us this loan for NACS project. AFDB supported us. They said before the loan is given to Nigeria, we should have what we call National Strategic Plan for wheat self-sufficiency in Nigeria. I led that team to produce that strategic document for wheat self-sufficiency in Nigeria. And we gave ourselves 10-year development plan, 10-year development plan. And by the grace of God, with Buhari and this present government, we have been able to religiously implement that strategic document. And that is why you see this NACS project now, trying to enhance the production of wheat.
When the government keeps saying we are releasing grains from the National Grain Reserve, do we have enough wheat in the National Grain Reserve?
No. But let me say this honestly, there is an improvement over the past years. Because 2 years ago, our target was to cultivate 250,000 hectares of wheat 2 years ago. Due to lack of seed, we could not meet up with that target. I think maybe we cultivated about 150,000 hectares. But this season we targeted the same 250,000 hectares of wheat. We did not import any seeds to this country. It was the seed produced locally that was used for these 250,000 hectares. So there's an improvement. Unlike 2 years ago, where we have to import wheat seed to Nigeria.
Recently, the president was talking about cultivating 10 million hectares of arable land. How can wheat play an important role in blocking this food deficit in Nigeria?
Yes, as I told you, number one, we need political will from our leaders. That's number one thing. Political will is essential. 2, consistent policy on wheat, and not only on wheat, even in agriculture. Let the policy be consistent. Then 3, funding. We need to fund research. We need to support the farmers. We need to support the farmers. If all these things are done, unnecessary, I assure you, there is no crop that Nigeria cannot produce. We have the fertile land. We have the water bodies. I stayed in Maiduguri, Borno State, for 29 years. We have a special soil. Borno State has a special soil than any other state in Nigeria. And what is that soil? It's called Vati soil. Vati soil. Very rich in organic materials. In fact, when we grow our wheat in Maiduguri, under research, we got up to 7 to 8 tons per hectare. And farmers got about 5 tons in Maiduguri because of the special soil they have. So it is very possible for wheat.
Okay, so tell me about this your wheat farmers week that is coming up. What day is it going to be held? The field day and other programs.
Actually, there are several players in the wheat value chain. We have the FMAN, Flour Milling Association of Nigeria. These are the off-takers of our wheat. In fact, if you talk of wheat importation to Nigeria in those old days,
it was the flour mill.
Who are the people?
In fact, they even started growing it. The Greek people, the Kosonakos, I forget their name now.
Yes, you see, that is the interesting aspect of it. I do want to go to, I do want to talk about it. But what actually happened was that flour mill was the only off-taker of wheat in Nigeria. And in those olden days, they were not taking our local wheat. They said our wheat was inferior to imported wheat. That's why they were not buying Nigerian wheat. They were importing. Until when we were able to break that barrier. And how did we break it? I was in the off lecture then. I gave flour mill 5 different varieties, 100 kg, for them to test. Then we collaborate with Firo. We gave them materials also. Let Firo also test this seed, this wheat, Nigerian wheat. They tested it from their laboratory. The mill has tested it. Another good thing, CBN now invited all of us, all the players in the wheat value chain to CBN to come and discuss the challenges of wheat and the quality of Nigerian wheat. Honestly, that was where Flame came up with their own report that they have tested Nigerian wheat. Nigerian wheat has better quality of protein than imported wheat. The only snag or the only challenge they mentioned was that the gluten content of our Nigerian wheat was lower than the imported wheat. And then they asked me the question. I said, yes, that is a plus to our Nigerian wheat. Because if the gluten content in wheat is high, there is a disease called celiac disease. Celiac disease that can lead to high blood pressure and whatever thing. I said that gluten, if it's a high content, it will cause that disease.
Makes you bloat.
Yes, thank you, sir. So they say, okay, fine. So our wheat is okay. But because what is the importance of that gluten? It's the gluten that makes the bread to rise.
Right.
You know? So if you see bread that is flattened, the gluten content is very low.
Which is a good thing.
Yes, which is a good thing. So now they said, okay, that's it. But we can still help the flour mill to make sure that their bread rise. And how do we do that? We increase the urea fertilizer we apply. To the crop. We increase it. But to the level that it will not be carcinogenic to humans. So we did that. And now they have said it. Fortunately also, these new varieties were tested by them, and they have said it's very good for bread making. And that is why they are now uptaking. In fact, we held a National Wheat Farmers Field Day in Kano one time. The chairman of FETMA, John, came. And that's where he made the pronouncement that all the wheat produced locally in Nigeria will be offtaken by the flour mill. Until today,
they have taken
it. So we don't have, there is already market for wheat production. And fortunately, let me tell you, there is no crop that attracts more profit than wheat. Just about a month ago, 100 kg of wheat was sold for 160,000 naira. One bag of wheat. About last month, it declined to 130,000. Can you imagine? And we have said a good farmer that manages his farm very well must attain 3 tons per hectare. If we cannot get 3 tons per hectare with our improved technologies, that is the gap, that is good agronomic practices that we have taught the farmers to adopt. If you adopt them, you should not get less than 3 tons per hectare.
Okay.
Sir, if you get 3 tons per hectare, that is 30 bags per hectare, times even 100,000 per bag.
Okay, so the field day will be coming up. But
Yes.
what about farmers that might probably be watching this live that want to be in touch with the Lake Chad Basin Development? That want to
Lake
get
Chad
research, want to get improved seeds and all of that. How do they contact Lake Chad? And also maybe many Nigerians that might want to donate some of the research work that have been done by Lake Chad. How do they contact Lake Chad Research Development?
Okay.
And where is it based? It's based in
Lake Chad is Maiduguri. Lake Chad Research Institute.
Okay.
That is the institute that has the national mandate for the genetic improvement of wheat, millet, and barley in Nigeria. Now, for the field day you mentioned, I said we have partners. FMAN is organizing green. There are two types of field day we organize. There's a green wheat field day. Green, when the crop is still very green on the field. It has not attained physiological maturity. It will be so beautiful when you go to the field, you see it. Then the second one is when the wheat has matured. It has matured. You will see it very brownish, like a cream color.
Yes.
That's how the wheat will be when it has matured. So we also have a field day. Then the one for FMAN, the green field day is now on the 18th of this month. Okay. 18th of this month. I'll give you your number. I'll invite you. 18th of this month. They are doing the green wheat field day.
18th of February. Where is it going to be done?
Jigawa. In Ringin local government area. Yeah.
Okay.
Then the brown one, we have not fixed it because AFDB, that is sponsoring or funding the NAS project, they have to play a role. They must come, and so we have not fixed the date for that one for now. Then for Lake Chad, Lake Chad Research Institute is based in Maiduguri, Borno State. The headquarters is there, and then we have branches, we have stations. In all the wheat producing states, Lake Chad has stations there. You can contact Lake Chad. We have our website. There's a website for Lake Chad Research Institute. We have our email, but the present executive director now is Professor Kabiru. Professor Kabiru is the ED of Lake Chad Research Institute. But if anybody wants to make contact with Lake Chad, you can Google. You see Lake Chad Research Institute, or you just Google wheat production in Nigeria. You see Lake Chad Research Institute. You see myself. You see other people. That is how to contact. Then, how do we have one-on-one discussion with our farmers? As I mentioned to you,
extension programs.
Yeah, we have our extension department in the ministry, in the institute. There is what you call monthly. What do you call it now? MTRM. Monthly technology review meetings. Monthly technology review meetings. MTRMs. That's an opportunity for the research and the extension agents to interact with the farmers. In that process, apart from this field day, we also do what we call farmer school, farmer field school, where we demonstrate technologies to farmers on the field, on the spot, not classroom training now. On the field, we teach them how to plant, how to apply fertilizer, and all these things. That is one aspect of contact with our farmers. Then with our seed producers, we used to have training. We train our seed producers. We train our seed producers on how to produce quality seed with the assistance or support of National Agric Council. National Agric Council that is regulating the seed system in Nigeria. So these are the channels we used to communicate.
Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Then let me also mention before this man will now say Olabanji, you didn't mention worker wheat. There's a worker wheat. This worker wheat was formed about 2 years ago. Worker wheat is West and Central Africa Wheat Collaborative Research Network. it covers the entire West and Central Africa. Professor Obi is the regional coordinator.
Okay.
And we are getting support from AFDB.
Okay.
We are also getting support from Nigerian government.
Okay.
We had held two summits. We held one last year, hosted by Nigeria. Then, just this year, 2 years ago, we held the first one. Then last year, we held the second one. That's the Wheat Summit, in which we invited all the collaborating countries to attend. And this has actually opened avenues for West and Central African countries to know the importance of wheat.
Wheat, okay.
And this war between Ukraine and Russia had actually made these African countries to make wheat a political, because these are the countries where we used to import our wheat. Even Nigeria, we imported our wheat from Russia, from Ukraine. But with this, everybody has to look inwards to see how they can promote their local wheat. So we just had a meeting with them in Cote d'Ivoire yesterday with my regional coordinator.
Okay.
We had a meeting with them in the Ministry of Agri in Cote d'Ivoire. And they told us that their government has made the wheat a priority crop.
Okay.
And we are collaborating with them. We are sending materials to them, just as we are doing for other West and Central Africa countries.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate you for your time.
It's a pleasure, sir.